I'm back here once again. Netflix recently put out their Resident Evil series, whatever the hell you want to call it. I haven't watched it. I have no intention of watching it because there are very few things I really watch from Netflix anymore. Certain things I will watch if it interests me. Apart from that, nah, I really have no interest in watching it. And from what I am seeing about this series, I really have no interest in watching it. They've taken the story from the games and done a race swap on Wesker, and apparently some kind of clone now, but he's black, and they're putting this whole politically correct nonsense that doesn't work, never works, and doesn't seem to work at all, but they won't stop. Why can't they make a good Resident Evil series or movie? I don't know. I mean, some of the older movies with Djokovic, they weren't bad, but they weren't great either, honestly. So now Resident Evil actually comes from Japan, and in Japan it's called Biohazard. But when the people who make it actually start to tear into what you're doing, that's when you have to really take notice and say that, what I'm doing here is clearly very wrong. By the way, if you want more to know about the series or one than the other, you can check out As from Heels versus Babyface. He's doing episode by episode reviews along with Jane Theory, so you could check it out there. His reviews are always really good, so you could check it out there and you could see exactly what's going on. Netflix Resident Evil, more like politically correct hazard. Netflix just kicked off its new Resident Evil series, and as initially expected, the show has been scoring poorly amongst actual fans, including those in Japan, who are generally more forgiving when it comes to live action adaptations. Since Netflix's new Resident Evil show debuted on July 14th, it has scored as low as 53% by critics and a 1.8 amongst users on Metacritic. While there are plenty of shows and movies that score lower with critics and higher with the general audience, it wasn't the case for Resident Evil, which scores as low as 22% from audience on Rotten Tomato and 3.6 on IMDb. Yeah, guys, 22%. The Netflix CGI anime Resident Evil Infinite Darkness also had low scores but was still higher with a 50% rating from critics and a 39% audience score. Some suggest the low scores could be due to the changes made to Albert Wesker's character, but Japanese fans had plenty of other criticisms about the show. Let's go through some of them. I'm watching Netflix's Biohazard right now, but it is politically correct hazard as expected. It's such a waste to go with Wesker again when you're going with a new approach for the story. When you could have just created a new character and done, but no, the best thing you decided to do is use Wesker and just race swap him and figure that's going to somehow make people interested in it, because again, like you saying, you want to sell the name, not good quality, you just want to sell the name. That last CGI anime Resident Evil on Netflix was also pretty iffy. All I have to say is the Netflix Resident Evil is honestly no fun at all. I just turned off my brain to watch it and still had enough. And this is all things here from what Japanese viewers are saying. I started watching Netflix Biohazard right now, watching Netflix Resident Evil show, and I've never felt the this isn't it feeling so hard because of the influence of political correctness. I had to stop watching, and I even liked the Wesker too. The new Netflix Resident Evil drama is such a waste of time. I dumped it already. I was checking out the Netflix Resident Evil drama, but I couldn't get over how egotistical the female protagonist was. Yeah, from what I understand, the female protagonist is a real handful as well. Again, as I say, I could check out Heels versus Babyface reviews for it. So I watched the Netflix Resident Evil, but it wasn't just stressful. The producers just don't get it, do they? All we need for Resident Evil is explore, run away, and escape. Okay, We don't need any of this human drama bullshit. They could have just made a live action Revelation and it would have definitely been more fun. I heard the Netflix Resident Evil show is terrible. Too bad we can't make Japanese movies but with American money. Now that would be something to see. Then we can hold back on the American level political correctness. It's fine to have black people in there, but don't go around changing characters that were originally white. That's just a selfish change based on one's own convenience. Yeah, I mean, when you see these things, it branching out to the wider market and people are seeing it and they're upset. You keep putting all this political drama nonsense into everything that you do, destroying anything. And like one person says here, it's fine to have black people in there, but don't go around changing characters that were originally white. That's just a selfish change based on one's own convenience. Again, if a character is white, they're white. You can't just say, well, okay, we're going to take somebody who's been white for all their life, for a very long time, and just put in some person of color and say, well, okay, this is the new person with the same name, but you have to like it because if you don't, that somehow makes you some kind of racist or bigot or something like that. But the else said it was okay. The part that Americans really don't seem to understand the most is why feel the need to change the race or gender of already existing characters. Why not just make a Resident Evil with a new story and new characters, and then they can pack it full of black people and people of color? Because they can't do it. They only sell the name. They need to. If they're trying to make anything new, it's not going to work because they are creatively bankrupt. It doesn't seem like black people are particularly happy about this. It's probably vocal minority nonsense. If so, exactly. You think any black person likes to know that they're just being sloppy seconds with your white characters? Come on. But the bottom line of this is that people are not pleased. They're not liking it. This Resident Evil show has crashed hard. And this is what Netflix is putting out. No wonder they have lost so many subscribers. I think they lose something like close to 1 million or something. So in the last quarter, you keep putting out rubbish when people only want quality entertainment. But these big companies don't get that, and they just keep destroying anything that could be good about everything. So Resident Evil, or like politically correct hazard. It's another flop down the drain, terrible ratings. Nobody likes this garbage. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.